Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And welcome to Forgotten Cinema Lead Up. Each episode, we highlight a film from a popular series and follow it all the way to the most recent release. We'll discuss what we love about the movie or perhaps don't love about it, but we always recommend you revisit it, even the not so good ones. So let's get into it. What's going on, Butler?
Nothing much. As you do know, I have been contracted by an anonymous source to handle a case involving a murder of sorts, or it seems like there may be foul play at foot. But right now, it looks like a general suicide. A rich gentleman has slit his throat, I do declare, in his mansion after possibly having been killed by his nanny or his grandson or his son or his daughter or his daughter-in-law or some rich little Nazi white kid or his granddaughter or so many people could be the person. So I am here to figure out why I've been paid to solve this case.
Tell me more about the donut hole inside of the donut hole inside of the donut hole, Benoit.
Without a hole, it's not a donut.
All right. Everyone's already just turned it off everyone stopped this video in mid-recorder as you were going into your accent. That's right. We are doing our lead-up series. We're starting off with Knives Out. We're going to go to, obviously, the second one, The Glass Onion, and then all the way up to our now showing episode of the new Knives Out, which is, what is it called again? Wake Me Up Because I'm Dead or something like that?
Wake Up Dead Men.
Right. Okay. So that's what we're doing. So let's get right into it. Let's get into the facts, and then we will talk about the film, which I think we got some stuff to talk about, I think. Movie Knives Out as a rent, which I totally forgot that this actually came out in theaters. I was like, because it was like he signed like a $500 million deal to put these on Netflix or something like that.
It was a ridiculous amount of money for the Netflix ones. Yeah.
And so so as I'm doing this, I'm like, great, there's going to be no box office information. Like, oh wait, no, wait, this isn't on Netflix. Okay. Then I had to find it. But anyways, Knives Out has a runtime of 130 minutes. It's rated PG-13. A production budget of $40 million. It came out on a Wednesday, November 27th, 2019. Obviously, that is Thanksgiving weekend. Opening weekend, it did $26.7 million. Its domestic total was $165 million. Its international total was $148 million for a worldwide total of $313 million. Production company was Lionsgate. They also distributed it along. You also had a production company, Media Rights Capital and T Street. This film came out on a Wednesday, like I said. So let's go back, not kind of a week. We're going to go back to the next Friday, which is the 22nd. And you had a wide release of Frozen 2, clearly a huge film. Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which is the
Tom Hanks.
The Tom Hanks, Mr. Rogers movie. And then 21 Bridges, which is Chadwick Boseman's in that, right? He plays the cop. They shut down all the bridges or something like that.
They shut down all 21 bridges inside of the city of Manhattan.
Something like that.
Or is it Manhattan? I can't remember.
No,
New York City for sure.
Is it New York City?
I'm almost positive. Oh, maybe Chicago.
Yeah, it's one of the two. Or
it's one of the colder cities. It's not LA.
Oh, no, obviously not. So the week that the Wednesday that this film came out, it went up against a wide release Queen and Slim and a limited release of The Irishman, which we actually saw. I don't know if we saw it that weekend, Mike, right? Didn't we go to Wallingford?
No, it was that weekend. We went to, I believe it was, I don't know if it was Wallingford. Oh, no, it might have been Wallingford.
We did because friend of the show, Andrew Morgan, who has this podcast,
he was doing his table there. Yeah,
he was doing his table out in the lobby area. So
they had the smoothie. There. They had the smoothie bar, but it wasn't open when we went. With their fancy smoothies.
Right. I don't think they have that anymore. I think
really?
That's gone.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Anyways, you also had that Friday right after you had a limited release of Sympathy for the Devil, not the Sympathy for the Devil. And then that Friday, December 6th, you had a wide release of Playmobil, the movie, and Dark Waters. So, I mean,
what
Dark
was
Waters
Sympathy for the Devil?
Sympathy for the Devil is, it's like,
I feel like I know that one. We worked it, so I should know it, but
it is with Nicolas Cage and Joel Kinnaman. It's not. It's
okay, yeah. And he's like forcing him to drive
in the car. Yes, yeah. Which
I never saw it, but I had wanted to.
I don't think it was in theaters long or at not many theaters. So because I saw it online. I saw it like, I don't know, Netflix or one of the streamers, something like that. This film is written and directed by Rian Johnson. He has done Brick, The Brothers Bloom, Looper. Obviously, he is also done The Last Jedi, which Butler's a big fan of. And he's the creator of the TV show Poker Face. He also produced this film. He produces most of his films. Cinematographer was Steve Yedlin, who's done San Andreas and the 2013 Carrie. Composer was Nathan Johnson, who's done Don John and Kill the Messenger. Edited by Bob Duxay, who's done the 1999 Mummy, not the Tom Cruise one, and the 2014 movie Godzilla. Big cast, even though there's it's a pretty big cast. Daniel Craig is Benoit Blanc, who obviously you probably know him from James Bond films, mostly. Chris Evans is Ransom. And
Layer Cake, which is a movie we did.
Sorry, apologies.
And
dude.
Munich, which is a movie we did.
Anything else? Anything else you want to add?
Road to Perdition, which is a movie we did. And that's all I can remember. I think we did three.
Didn't we do what was the second one you said?
I said Layer Cake, Munich, and Road to Perdition.
Didn't we do Logan Lucky?
Oh crap! Yeah, and Logan Lucky.
There you go. Good job.
He's up there. Not as up there as Tom Cruise movies we've done, but that's pretty high up.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry. You had Chris Evans as Ransom Drysdale. He's Captain America in the MCU. He's also in the movie Sunshine,
a movie we just did.
There you go. Ana de Armas as Marta Cabrera. She's nominated for an Oscar for Blonde. She's also in War Dogs and Ballerina. Jamie Lee Curtis as Linda Drysdale. She is Ransom's mother, and obviously the daughter of our patriarch here. She won an Oscar for Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. She's also in True Lies and the original Halloween. Michael Shannon as Walt Thrombey. He is the son of. He's the brother of Linda Drysdale and the son of Harlan Thrombey, who's again the person who gets killed. He's nominated for 2 Oscars, one for Revolutionary Road and Nocturnal Animals. Don Johnson is Richard Drysdale, the husband of Linda. He is in Miami Vice, a TV show, the original, and Tin Cup. Toni Collette as Joni Thrombey, who was married into the family, as she is nominated for an Oscar for The Sixth Sense. She's also in About a Boy and Hereditary. And then you had Christopher Plummer as Harlan Thrombey, who is our patriarch, who was the person who was murdered, supposedly. He won an Oscar for Beginners. He also was nominated for The Last Station, All the Money in the World. He's also in a movie called The Insider, a movie we did. And what's the other? We just did another one with him, right? We just did a movie with him because I just remember writing these credits down. Yeah, and does it something? And then you have a couple. Catherine Langford, who's Meg Thrombey, who is Walt Thrombey's daughter. Jaden Martell, who's Jacob Thrombey. He's the alt-right Nazi that Butler referred to. He is he's Walt Thrombey's son. Meg Thrombey, is Joni Thrombey's daughter, Toni Collette's daughter. Edie Patterson's in there as Fran. She's the housekeeper. You might know her from Righteous Gemstones and Vice Principals. And then Frank Oz is in there for a little bit as a lawyer who kind of tells him about the will and whatnot. He's only in there for maybe 5 minutes. But yeah, that's a big cast. But we're not here for the cast. We're here for the intrigue and the murder mystery and all that fun stuff. We did not see this movie together, correct?
No. You couldn't work that Thursday. I watched it on my own. I remember that.
Well, we
usually watch it Thursday mornings.
Well, no. If this is a Thanksgiving film, it was a Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday that we screened.
Oh, maybe that's why I watched it on my own. Yeah.
So I generally like murder mysteries. I do like reading them. I'm a big fan of a lot of, obviously, the Agatha Christie stories and whatnot. Obviously, I've written 2 books that kind of are in that world a little bit. They're not as in depth. They're not the books I've written are not really about the mystery as much as they are about the character. So this is kind of a movie that's in my wheelhouse. So I know I was excited. I was very interested to see it when it came out. And what I remember back in the day was I generally liked this film, but I didn't remember a whole heck of a lot. I remembered little things here and there. I've only seen it probably once. This is probably the second time watching it straight through. So I've never really gone back to it though. So this second watch was kind of like a bit of a re-experiencing the film again. So, I have a generally, I do like the movie, but there are some things in the film that I don't know what it is, Mike. I don't know if it's really smart and I'm missing stuff and I can't keep up or I can't keep track. Do you know what I mean? Like with it's almost like the conundrum I have with spy films, which is I don't believe anybody ever. So when you have a spy film and you're like, there's all these twists and turns, it's like, it's so much that you're just like, I don't know what's real anymore. So I don't know where you sit. We can go different ways. We can go into the characters. But I'd like to talk about a little bit about the plot and about just kind of like your overall, just maybe if you had a different viewpoint from when you first watched it to now, or just kind of just in general, if you just want to talk about the plot a little bit, because I know we should probably go into that because this is definitely a plot driven piece. I think so.
Sure.
So I don't know. Go ahead. Hit me with wherever you want to go with.
Well, first off, I don't like Rian Johnson's films. I
dive into that a little bit more.
I'm not a huge fan of Brick.
Okay.
When Looper came out, I didn't get the hype. I thought it was meh at best, and more or less I veered on the I don't think I like this. Mm-hmm. And then Star Wars Last Jedi came out. And I hate that film, and that's coming from a person who's a huge Star Wars nerd. And then this film came out, and I really liked the cast, so I watched it because of the cast, expecting myself to hate it. But I actually loved this film. I love this movie. I think it's a great whodunit, very like, and we'll get into the plot. And I think you could be right about a couple things, especially as they get toward the end of the plot, the convenient, like, I don't know if it's convenience. It's not really contrivance. It's more like the convenience stuff that happens that just seem a little over the top. And that just comes from subsequent watches. I think this is the third or fourth time I've seen this. And I just think that the style is great. The art direction, the cinematography, the characters are really good. Like there's not a whole lot about this film I don't like. And I found myself really I'm not saying like there were some scenes now where I'm like, yes, I know how the mystery goes, and knowing how the sausage is made in a mystery movie kind of, like you said, it's plot driven. So you're kind of like, all right, but there's some character stuff here as well that really works. I especially love the scene between Christopher Plummer's character and Ana de Armas' character when they flash back to her giving him the wrong dosage. I just think this is a very, very good movie. But I think I can see where you're coming from with the cracks this time in my third or fourth watch that I didn't notice my first two, where I was more just enraptured by, this is fun. Get him, Foghorn. That I think that there is a certain thing which irked me so slightly, or maybe I was so enamored by the other stuff. Although I still don't think I liked it then. Now I'm just kind of like, and most of that stuff, I'm assuming with you is the same. It's the stuff with Fran, the housemaid, and her death, and like that kind of stuff. Like when it gets into that territory, that's where I think the movie kind of loses it for me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about just the execution of all that, of just how, yeah.
Yeah, it's so neat and tidy, and it's such a contained story. And all of a sudden, we have to go towards the blood work place. We have to set up. Her name is Fran, right, in the movie?
Yes, Fran, the housekeeper. Yeah. Yes,
you have to set up Fran, and so you have to go to the empty store behind the pharmacy. It's just kind of like, why? Mm-hmm. Why do we have to do this? It was such a tight. Contained, and I think one of the reasons I really like this is it's like that other film, which of course, because it's I can't remember names at all. The one with Michael Caine.
Sleuth.
It was so sleuth-like. It's so this could be a play. Yeah, for sure. And then when they veer off and they go to those locations, I'm just kind of like, it takes me out of it a little bit, and it just seems sloppy where everything else was so smart and so Clue-like, which again is like another inspiration for the film, clearly. And though that little section of the film, and then having to harken back to it when you're explaining things, it's convenient for Benoit Blanc to be able to solve it. It just takes me out of, we were in this one contained, very beautiful location, and it's just kind of like, it irked me just ever so slightly before, but this time I was really like,
Yeah, I to that point, you do kind of get to know everybody in the cast in terms of the family, but you only get to know them in the sense of the party of that night when they kind of flash back a little bit to the other party. You get a little bit of Walt, which is Michael Shannon's character, in the hallway when he's kind of pseudo threatening Marta about what are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's a whole subplot that they cut out with him, which is the reason why he's in the boot, because he owes people money. He got shot.
I saw those. I saw the deleted scenes on the Blu-ray. Yeah.
And it's I think it's really tough to cut those, because now I'm sitting here going, did Michael Shannon break his foot during production? Like, why is he in this cast? Like, there's no explanation. But also, but if you kind of, I never, in these movies, I never sit there and try to solve it. I'm just listening to the story. So whatever. But the fact that you don't see Ransom, Chris Evans' character, you only see him briefly, and you don't really see him for the first 30, 45 minutes. And then he shows up, and then he's such a prominent part of Marta, in terms of, like, she reveals everything to him, and then he's part of it now. And then it's like, because we get to know him more, he clearly has to have a bigger role at the end. Like, you're not going to just have somebody, you're not going to all of a sudden, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Linda, is just all of a sudden she's going to be the murderer. And we have not learned anything about her except that she loves her father, and they have these little playful things, and they have these little games they play. She said it like 3 times, and it pays off in the end when he writes to her an invisible link, and she uses heat to see what the note is, and the whole thing, how she learns about her husband cheating on her. Like, that's her arc there. It's right. Like that's her whole thing. You never, you don't really get a lot of Walt. It's just that he's never allowed to be his own person. His wife, who's in other things, she barely says 2 words. It's just you don't really get a sense of like I feel like Toni Collette's character Joni is just simply I almost feel like she's in an SNL sketch at some point. Like, she is just like floating around. There's a quote where she's like, I was just trying to find the humor in Joni. It's like, okay, great. But like, does that help the movie? Like, I'm glad that you were able to latch onto that character, but like, you're further pushing yourself into the background. Like, all these people are just background actors to the main, which is Benoit Blanc, which is Marta, and which is Ransom. So clearly Ransom has to be the person that is involved with the death of Walt Thrombey, the Christopher Plummer character. So I don't think it's as, and I know the script was nominated for an Academy Award, and that's great. I just don't think it's as smart as people give it credit for. I think there's definitely some stuff in here that I struggle with, and maybe I'm just not paying attention too much. Like, I wanted to ask you this question, Mike, if you can remember this. This is towards the end. How would Ransom know that Marta gave Harlan the right or wrong vial? How would he know that she picked up the because Benoit Blanc puts tape over the 2 vials, and he claims that Marta knows because she picks up the vial and she knows by the weight that what the vial is, in terms of whether it's morphine or whether it's the drug that he needs for his condition, that she instinctively knows by the weight. So she never has to look at labels. That's what Benoit is saying.
Well, the weight of Viscosity. Yeah. Which when you look at them, they are 2 different colors too.
Right. But how would Ransom know? Even because he switched the labels, but how would he know that she actually did? She actually did the thing that she did. Like, how would he know that? He wouldn't know that. Like, how would he still think his plan worked? Like, that's my question to you. Like, how would he know that the plan worked?
That he died? He overdosed.
If
he died in the morning, he'd know it. If he overdosed in the morning, he'd know.
Okay, so.
I think it's just like, I hope he dies and I'm going to walk away, and it's an easy crime to commit. And then if he doesn't overdose, he could try something else later.
But then she tells him at the pub what happens. So at that point, because Blanc says that, Benoit Blanc says that at that point, that's when he knew his plan didn't work the way he wanted it to, right? See,
because he also committed suicide. But then she covered it. He didn't expect his grandfather to then have her cover it up.
Right. But then when he gets
all kind of going all over the place.
But then he gets the coroner's report that said there was no morphine in his system. Remember, he gets that coroner's report because
Benoit got it.
No, Fran sends it to Ransom, and then he rips the top off and reuses it and sends it to Marta. That's how he gets her to go meet Fran and find her dead or dying. See, remember?
Those weren't the blood test results.
Yes, they were. He gets sent the letter. Fran has a friend, a cousin who works at the lab. She sends in the toxicology report that says there's no morphine in the system. Fran takes it, sends it in an envelope to Ransom, who then turns around and rips the top off, sends it to Marta, then hires Benoit Blanc with the money and the cash and then sends that out to hire him because he wants him to discover what's going on. Like, that's how it plays out. You see that? Okay. That's how the whole thing plays out. That's how Benoit Blanc comes into this.
Well, he still wants to set Marta up as the person that kills Fran as well. Like, he wants to set her up as the murderer regardless.
Right.
So even if that was the blood results, then Marta goes to kill her for the evidence. The evidence gets destroyed.
See, she's the only one with the evidence. I'm not saying they're doing a good job of doing this. I'm just really confused as to how everything happens.
So that's where I think that gets muddy. I don't think they need just have Ransom burn down the blood test results. You're like, oh crap. All right. So we have to come. Everything we're looking for has to be in this mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once you get to the blood test result stuff, that's, I think, where it gets a little messy, unnecessarily so. Like, I don't think any of that stuff is really necessary other than to trick Ransom at the end. It's an excuse to do that trick where it's like, is Fran alive? Oh, thank you. She made a full recovery. And there has to have been a different way to get to that same, like, and I'm sure that was how, that's how I would write it. If I was Rian Johnson, I'd be like, however it ends, I want him to take that fake knife and jab it into Marta, and that's how it ends. Like, and then you fill in the blanks to get to that point, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, as soon as you get to the blood test results, as soon as you involve Fran outside of the mansion, it starts to get really sloppy. The thing about Sleuth and Clue that make them very clean is that they never leave the location of the crime. And I feel like that's where, like, most of your complaints seem to be coming from that section of the film, which is also where I'm kind of like, it was tough for me to follow, and maybe I'm just an idiot, and that's fine. I mean, most of what you're getting is because you're watching the action, you're watching Marta.
Sure.
Most of what you're getting is when Benoit is like just rapid fire telling you what happened.
Right.
Which is fine and cool, but if you're trying to solve the mystery, you're kind of like,
which is a staple of any murder mystery. You're going to have your lead detective lay it all out, and that's fine. To your point about Sleuth and Clue and this film, I think what differs a little bit, and I could be wrong here again, but I don't think I am, is the dialogue in those films serve the main plot in the story, much of the dialogue, and obviously with Sleuth, because it's a lot of back and forth, and it's two people trying to one up each other, you think. Even what's the other one we watched with Christopher Reeve and when he's coming out of the Rubik's Cube in the poster, and Michael Caine, it's the same kind of similar thing. Death Trap. I don't know if we watched it, but if you ever seen Death Trap is very similar. The same thing.
I haven't watched it, but I know about it. Yeah,
you should watch it. You probably like, but the same thing. But anyways, a lot of the dialogue is in service of the plot, and you learn about these people, but you're learning about under the umbrella of, how it pushes the story along. A lot of times when the family's together, the dialogue is making a social commentary. It's obviously a time when Trump is in office, so they don't reference it, but they do kind of reference it. Oh, take off your red hat. They talk about the immigrants in cages and stuff like that. So, but a lot of it is to shape is character work, but it's also to make reference to like internet trolls in terms of like the kid who is the alt-right kid that they talk about. So I feel like the dialogue in that sense is merely just trying to say things about characters and about our world we live in, and not so much pushing the plot forward. Especially in the first 45 minutes. I really think if you go back, it's funny to listen. It's great dialogue and it's funny and it works, but tell me how that helps me figure out about Walt Thrombey and what happens to him in the story.
Well, see, I think it all, and again, this was not, I disagree with you there. I really like this movie, and it's.
I'm not saying I don't like it, Mike.
It's been nominated for awards for writing,
and I'm not saying that it's not good, not well written. What I'm saying is that 15-20 minutes telling me that characters are spoiled and bratish, and that's great. How does that help me with the story?
I think it's setting up motives for all of them. And that, they're all desperate for that money. It's not even just that, oh, I want that money. It's that they've all been systematically shut off, and they all know that they're being systematically shut off. None of that is a surprise to them. None of that was unknown. So anybody could be the murderer. And like your thing about Joni being like just this free-spirited whatever, like even she could commit the murder because who knows? It could be the stupid, silly one. It's setting all them except for maybe the alt-right kid. I will agree that that's more of a social commentary because you never get the sense that it could have been him or Meg. Meg is the character, right? The younger college student. Yeah. Other than those two, you get the sense that any of them could be murderers because they've all have motive. They've all been screwing over Walt Sr. And they've all been pushed out of the family money. And you just kind of get their personality. You get to see kind of like what drives them to anger, and you get to see what's going to cause them to want to commit these crimes.
That's great. But I still don't think that, and I'm not talking about the scenes when he tells her you're cut off, Joni. I get that. Yes, obviously that moves the plot along. I'm talking about the scene where they're sitting around the fire and they're just going back and forth for 10 minutes. I'm talking about the scene when the party, when it's just like, when they're just, I don't know. I just don't think where you say it's like it all helps. I think maybe like I'm thinking like it seems to be more focused on the characters. And I know I just had this complaint. I know I just said that. You know what? I don't know what the fuck I'm saying because there's something there's a disconnect with me with the dialogue in terms of it furthering the plot along. This is a murder mystery. So, and when Benoit Blanc is talking and he's going around and he's doing his exposition dump, which you need. It's within it, and he's being, what's the word I'm looking for? With his flourishes and with his language and his verbiage, it all works and it all plays, and he's he's got funny asides and it all fits together and it works well for me. For some reason, it doesn't work as well for me with the rest of the family. And maybe it has to do with maybe it has to go back to the other point with me, which is we don't get a lot of them in terms of like the intrigue of like, I know you're saying like, they could all have been murderers, but again, I go back to the screen time with Ransom where he's in it so much that he clearly has to be involved with it. Like maybe I'm looking for like, I don't know what it would be, but maybe I'm looking for more from them, or maybe they're more involved in like, what if they all came back to the house, or you know what I mean? Like something like that. Like they all had a hand, like Murder on the Orient Express, when they all have a hand in the murder, that kind of thing. Right. Where like, so if you really didn't know who it could have been anyone, and you find out it's everybody. I'm not saying I want that here. I just want a little bit more than just, they feel a little bit more like background sometimes for me, especially in the second watch. Maybe in the first watch, I was like, I didn't catch it as much. I don't know. I honestly, I'm not really fully formed with my take, so I can't really sit here and say like, this is what it is, but there's something there that is missing for me. And I can't really explain it well right now. So So take that for what it is.
Okay.
I mean, I can't really sit here and like argue too much because I don't really know what I'm saying because I'm struggling to figure out what exactly is not working for me. It's not a major thing. It's not like I like this film. It's not like I don't like this film, but there's just something there that maybe I just want more. Maybe I just want a little bit more with those actors, those characters. It's just to kind of really know them more. I'm not sure.
It sounds like, to me, like what you're saying is on second watch, the fact that Ransom comes in so late and you kind of already know he's the killer, it kind of kills it for you because he comes in late, and that's kind of a telltale sign.
Well, he comes in late and then he's there for like the full slate.
They
of the
make
second
him a
act.
major part of it. Yeah.
Like to your point about like Meg would have been, and again, we don't rewrite stories, but Meg would have been a perfect somebody who did it because she's so sympathetic to Marta.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it would make sense that she actually is somebody who is just like her family, just like the worst of her family and stuff like that. So, but again, it's not my story.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah.
And they clearly make it so that she doesn't really realize until very late that her losing the money would also mean not being able to go to school because she doesn't seem to care about the money other than school.
Right. But go ahead.
Literally whatever thought I had just flew away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what I was just about to say.
There was a moment in the movie where when Marta comes out, she finds out that she inherits everything. She comes out to the steps, the camera moves up, and then the camera turns into a steady cam. It turns into a handheld, and as everyone else starts going after her.
I don't like that shot.
Well, I actually liked that shot because that's interesting that it did that. But then I found out that the reason why they did that was because the Steadicam broke, so they had to do that. I was like, oh, that's okay. So I guess me liking it really is just a happy accident. I didn't mind that. I mean, honestly, maybe do that a little bit more then. If you're gonna,
I think
that's do that.
Took me out. Yeah.
If you're gonna do that now that her world is turned upside down, then she should all of her stuff should be handheld and stuff like that. It seems like that choice. I understand what you're saying if you don't like it because that choice feels like a student filmmaker kind of choice, like oh look at we're being like, but do it for the rest of the movie.
Feels like a real Rian Johnson choice.
Well, I don't know how I didn't mind Brick or anything like that. I really don't have an opinion one way or the other about his films. Wasn't a huge Last Jedi guy, but whatever. I mean, that's not my trilogy. So, maybe I have a little bit more. Maybe I would have a little bit more of an opinion if he did one of the Indiana Jones films and completely turned everything around. Then I'd probably have a problem. But so I guess it is what it is. Besides Daniel Craig, who's clearly, obviously, because he goes off and does other movies as the character is almost like a pink, like a Inspector Clouseau kind of thing.
Right.
When he's in a shot in the dark and he goes off and start doing his own films. Other than him, and we'll move Anna de Armas out of this because she's obviously really good. They're the two leads. And if you want to kind of move Chris Evans out, I'm curious, what actors did you like in this film that stood out?
I mean, obviously he's got a lot of experience, but Christopher Plummer, I think, is great. He's in the movie for 10 minutes of full on screen time. Mm-hmm. And he's one of the best characters and his dialogue is great. And within, his scenes with Marta are maybe 7 minutes of those 10 minutes. And I totally believe their relationship. I totally believe their trust. I totally believe their closeness with each other. It's just what he does with that is so great. And the fact that when he's trying to make light of the situation and write down the notes about how to write the perfect story, I'm so enamored with his scenes. I just think he's really a standout in this film because I think he does a really, really good job.
Mm-hmm. That's it, though. That's the only one that pops out too.
I mean, I think they're all good. Again, I really like this movie. Jamie Lee Curtis is obviously really good. I like seeing Tubbs or no, Crockett. Yeah. Crockett. I like seeing him do some stuff. I liked him in Django. I think he should do more stuff like this. I think he's really good at playing the bad guy. Even though I loved rewatching Miami Vice with my father, I think he plays a great good guy. I think he's in his villain era, and I think it works. I think he does a really good job.
I think he's in his like 70s or now, right?
Probably,
I think he's a little older.
But I really like him as the character. Like I said, Jamie Lee Curtis is always just really, really good. And I liked Michael Shannon as Walt Jr. because he plays this really meek kind of like shut up nerd. And usually he's so, and he's still intense in his own way in this film, but he usually plays, such intense characters that are just like, whoa, dude, that you feel like could just have a meltdown any second. Walt Jr. is just this really dweeby kind of frail dude that is just a big departure from a lot of the films I've seen Michael Shannon in.
Mm-hmm. You're a big theme guy. So any themes in this film that kind of stood out to you that you liked or didn't like? I mean, we kind of touched upon it a little bit already.
There's obviously the theme of like the truth shall set you free is a big theme on it. Like play it the right way, the nice way.
I'm not playing the game. Marta's not playing the game.
Yeah, she's not playing the game. Her kindness and her inability to lie are what gets her through and what gets her to rightfully have this inheritance. I think that's definitely the biggest theme. And obviously the theme about making something for yourself is what Walt Sr. is trying to tell everybody throughout this entire movie. But then again, yet our main character gets everything in the end for, I guess, not nothing because she doesn't have to suffer for it throughout the film.
There is a correlation, purposeful correlation with the idea that like, how Marta is good at the game Go because she is looking to build something bigger and it's sustaining rather than just play to win, which is like more like chess, which is what Ransom does, play chess. And it's like, so he plays to win, but when she doesn't play that game, when she doesn't play Ransom's game, that's how she wins because she's, playing for, whatever. I can't remember the phrase she uses, but
it's something beautiful or something like that.
Yeah. She's looking to build something beautiful and big. Yeah, there's that. There's the idea of, class and elitism and privilege. Obviously his whole family's privileged and whatnot. So, which I think is a nice little turnaround when Walt's threatening Marta and he's like, we have resources if your parents are undocumented to make that go away. And she's like, well, now I have those resources, so I'll be able to do that. So there's that. And then I know they do a lot of stuff with immigration because they had the running joke that nobody can remember what Marta's country of origin is. They all think it's one thing. So that's kind of tossed in there a little bit. So those are definitely, we'll have to answer this question moving forward when we talk about the Glass Onion and then the new one. Yes, I forgot the title already. That in this film, it's a Benoit Blanc is a character in this movie, but it's not yet a Benoit Blanc mystery. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Like he's not bigger than I think he's bigger. He's a more prominent figure in the next film, but in this film, a lot of stuff he's just part of the story and a lot of stuff is happening to him as well. Do you know what I mean? He's not in control of every situation. If you want to kind of like look forward a little bit, do you like that a little bit? Do you, and we can talk about this in the next film, but do you like this version of Benoit Blanc in this film compared to Glass Onion? And I'm assuming what'll be in the next one. Like he's more of a bigger character in those in the next one. In this one, he's more just of the movie. Do you like that?
I'm gonna have to watch Glass Onion again because I've only seen it the one time. But I think I prefer this version within this story, and I think even in Glass Onion, I would have preferred, because he's invited to that one more. Mm-hmm. So he's got to be a little bit more of the character. But I think it depends on the situation. I think I prefer this version where he's just not a part of the story. He's an outside observer trying to solve the case. But I think that's very similar in the Agatha Christie novels with
Hercule Poirot. Yeah.
Poirot, like in Murder on the Orient Express,
just go to the Kenneth Branagh ones. Just do the new ones.
Murder on the Orient Express, he's not the main character at all. He's just there.
Sure.
In Death on the Red Nile, he's more of a character because he's part of that boat cruise. In which hasn't become a movie. I hope it does. The murder of Roger Ackroyd, I think is the name, right? Yeah. Where the narrator is the murderer the whole time. He's also much more of a central figure because he's in that town. He's living in that little hamlet or whatever in that story. Like, and I love each of those stories for their own reasons, but I think that it depends on what it is. In Glass Onion, I think he could have been a little bit more removed. But if there were to be a movie where it's like his hometown or his mentor gets killed, I would like that. But I think it's got to be a reason for him to be personally involved. Whereas in this film, obviously he doesn't have a real reason to be personally involved in anything. So I kind of like this version better. I like him as the outside observer when the characters themselves could care less about him.
In this movie, they know of him because of the New Yorker article. They all reference it. A couple of people reference it, but if you compare that to the Poirot, I mean, even the Branagh Poirot, but the other ones, he is world renowned.
Oh yeah, so he's like a Sherlock Holmes.
When he shows up somewhere, everyone's like, "Oh my God, what happened? We're gonna get caught." But in this one, it's just, and even the next one, he's just somebody who's very smart, but people don't really. I don't feel he has that Poirot treatment. Sure. I don't think he just has that treatment. And again, I mean, maybe we're just looking into it a little bit more, but but definitely, there's obviously the comparisons there, and it's a good comparison. Now, I have quotes for you, but I know we both like this film, so I have quotes that don't like this film for you.
Oh, reviews. Okay.
Yeah, reviews. Excuse me, not quotes. Reviews. Apologies. Reviews. See, there's all negative reviews because I want to get you all upset. Rex Reed from the New York Observer calls this movie, quote, a tedious, overstuffed, undercooked mess as subtle as a sledgehammer.
It's not supposed to be subtle. Do you not see the sets, the chair with the knives around it? I mean, it's not a subtle movie. You don't give your main character a foghorn accent.
He's saying it's as subtle as a sledgehammer. Like it's not subtle.
Yeah. I'm saying they did it on purpose. Yeah. It's not supposed to be.
Well, it's supposed to be like, obviously a mystery writer's grand house is everything in that house was to reference stuff from his books. Yeah, no, totally. And it's nice that I know they had some sound stages, but primarily they shot, on location, which is cool.
That is cool.
Kyle Smith from the New York Post, quote, the characters are cartoons, the politics obvious, and the twists preposterous. Kyle Smith, not a fan.
I can't win them all, Kyle Smith. I don't know.
All right, fine. I'll give you one more. Armand White from the National Review says, quote, Rian Johnson gives us a mystery that mistakes smugness for cleverness. That's interesting. Where do you think he's saying that, though? Who is he saying that's smug? Daniel Craig, Benoit Blanc?
I think he's saying Benoit Blanc. He can't say Ransom because Ransom's not apparently not that clever because he can still, but he's very smug. Yeah.
But he's the bad guy.
I mean, I would wonder if these are the same people that gave Last Jedi glowing reviews and called it the best Star Wars movie, because then you guys are off your rocker.
I do question, it's a good line at the end of the film. I do question Ransom's decision to basically kill Marta in front of 3 witnesses. I do like the line where he's like, in for a penny. I do get that, but like, it's just, that's not a good decision, dude. but whatever. I get, maybe he was just angry at that point.
It's a real bad decision, but he did get thrown up on, so.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, obviously this is the part of this movie where I ask you, who you should recommend it to. And I think we could still kind of do that. But I'd also like to maybe, if you have any kind of recommended people who like this film, people who are into this movie, there's other, we talked a little bit about Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile, the older one, maybe not so much the newer one. The newer one's okay, but
the newer one is too long.
You're going to have to suffer through some suspect acting. I'm not going to name names, but yeah. But
we all know who you're talking about. I actually saw a meme about her today that was like talk about how she's going for the Oscar, and it was for like 4 years ago.
What movie?
Snow White or something like that. And it was just like, come on. But it was a meme. The whole thing was supposed to be a joke.
So we again, who would you, not only would you recommend this to people, but like what other movies in this, if they, I love Knives Out. Like, do you know any other movies that are like this? Who would you recommend like to people to watch?
I mean, I would go back and watch Clue if you've never seen it. It's a huge inspiration. Sleuth, if you've never seen it, it's a huge inspiration. Both of those movies, although they're a little older, especially Sleuth, they move quick. They've got fast, witty dialogue, and it's not like slow like some other older movies would be. I would watch those. Watch anything with Poirot, Hercule Poirot in it. The Kenneth Branagh ones are good. I still have to see the latest one. The one that's like kind of haunting or whatever.
Like a horror movie. Yeah.
But those, you should watch those. You can watch any of the Pink Panther films, anything Sherlock Holmes. Anything that like this movie is an homage to. I would go and watch those kind of mystery whodunits. And maybe that's why I like this film so much. I know you're more the whodunit guy, but I also enjoy a good whodunit, a good Sherlock Holmesian tale. And there really haven't been many theatrical whodunits lately.
The Robert Downey Jr. ones are more of an action film. They're good, but they're more action.
The first one is got a mystery behind it. The second one's definitely straight up action.
You were thinking of A Haunting in Venice. That's the one. Yeah, that's the other one. I would even like go watch the Sherlock show that had Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman in it.
That's good.
4 or 5 episodes. Those are good. Sleuth is good. Death Trap, like I said before. You could find countless Agatha Christie movies over on the BBC or BBC America, or like there's TV shows. There's obviously that I can't remember the actor's name. Albert Finney, right? He played Poirot, right? Is that right?
Did he?
I believe so.
I know I've seen some of them, but some of the older adaptations, but I don't know who played them.
Yeah, he played him in Murder on the Orient Express, this 1974 film. But there are TV shows. I would recommend anything. If you see anything that says Agatha Christie, if you like Knives Out, you will like that movie because that's primarily where Rian Johnson got a lot of his inspiration for, and deservedly so, because she's a fantastic writer. Yeah, and she really all those stories are really, really good. So that's, I mean, do you have anything else? Am I missing something? Cause I was going to wrap it up, but if I didn't talk about something you want to talk about, please let me have it.
No, I think, we haven't mentioned him, and I gotta look. Keith Steinfeld.
Yeah, he was good.
He's good as his like kind of Watson. He's good as like a cop who's not annoyed by Benoit and realizes his genius, but is kind of tired of trying to doing the case. I think he does a good job of playing like intrigued, but also tired of trying to solve this case that he wants to just wrap up.
I think at the end, when something happens at the end and he was just like, oh damn, like he was when she pukes on him. And I totally forgot to give his credit, so sorry about that. He was nominated for an Oscar for Judas and the Black Messiah. He's also in a movie called Sorry to Bother You, and he's on that show with Donald Glover. What's the name of that show?
Atlanta.
Yeah, he's on that. That's kind of where he was on that show, and then he started being in all these movies. Sorry to Bother You was a really weird film, but it's really good. He's really good in that.
Got to use the white person voice.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess the guy, his partner, is somebody who was in. He's known Rian Johnson most of his life. He was in Brick, and like he wrote the part for him. So I have not seen Brick in forever, man. I know why you don't like it, because of the dialogue, because it's definitely got that Juno type dialogue.
I watched it in like college. Somebody was like, "Hey, you got to watch Brick," and I was just like, "I don't have to watch this movie anymore."
That's always the worst when somebody tells you the hype, you got to see this film. It's like, all right, and then it's not as good as you expect it to be. It still might be a good movie, and that really just kills it for you. That happens to me all the time.
Well, it used to happen a lot in film class with these film guys. So I mean, it's just like, oh, with all the artsy wannabes. Watch this movie. Oh man, all right.
So that's our lead up. That obviously our next one's we're gonna do Knives Out. What's it called? The Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I'm just calling it the Glass Onion.
It should have been called. They should be called Benoit Blanc Mysteries, but I get it. Marketing.
Well, this is the first one that hit Netflix, so and obviously this is leading up to our now showing. What's the name of the movie again? Wake Me Up, Dead Man.
Wake Up, Dead Man.
Wake Up, Dead Man. I'm sorry,
I don't. Before we get dead, man.
I can't just grasp on to the title of this movie. I don't know why. It's supposed
to be me who's bad with names. You get your own thing.
So the dinky knee has really has really put me off my game. I mean, I'm like shifting around over here like I'm antsy, like I got ADHD because I'm just trying to get the leg to feel okay. Anyways, I got nothing else. So Mike, why don't you let them know where they can find us?
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you get your podcast. You're watching, listening to us right now. Go ahead and like, rate, subscribe, comment. What's your favorite mystery film? Is it Mystery Men?
Oh God. Man.
Let us know in the comments below. And if you like Forgotten Cinema, we have a regular show every Wednesday where we talk about films that seem to be forgotten by audiences. That's every Wednesday without fail. And we're in season 23. We've got a backlog of over 300 episodes. We have our Patreon where we have exclusive episodes there. We have one coming about the Predator look back. I think we have one coming out of a Christmas one for December we talked about, but we never scheduled. So you may or may not see that, or I will just cut that line out. Merch discounts, Discord access. You can just join for free to keep track of what we're doing as well. That's what I got.
Awesome. And then obviously we'll see you for our next lead out, like Glass Onion, and our next episode on Forgotten Cinema every Wednesday, like Mike said. So until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this is Forgotten Cinema.
I do declare.
Oh boy.